everyone, Cherie here. Today I'm going to scrap a page using items from the Felicity Jane Willow Kit. I'm going quite monochromatic with this page, so what I've done is gone through the kit and picked out lots of things that have blues in them. So I've got pattern papers, I've got journaling cards, the solid colour paper. I've also got, out of the die cut pack, I've got all these little blue and white embellishments to use. I've chosen the adventure die cut out of the pack, and I think I'll use that for my title. Of course, I always love to use stamps on my pages, so I've got the stamp set ready to go, and I'd like to use the willow stencil as well, all these little triangles. I'll be scrapping this photo from our holiday last year at Coffs Harbour. That was a really lovely little escape that we had. And I've got those little paper clips there as well to use. So I'll get started and I'll be back in a moment. Okay, so to start off with, I want to make a really subtle watercolour background behind where I'm planning on putting my photo. So I've just got my watercolours out and a nice wide brush, trying not to get too much water on the page, but I just want that really subtle colour. So just to add a little bit more colour there, I've got a smaller brush now, just adding a few strokes here and there in different places. And of course we always need some splatters, so some at the top right corner there and some more down at that bottom left, and a few bigger blobs in amongst everything. A few more. Always fun to play with paints. And I'll set that one aside to dry. So here we are, all dry, and now I'm ready to play with that stencil. I was so excited to see the stencil in the kit this month. Always fun to play around with some modelling paste. So I'm going to add some of the triangles to the top right area of that watercolour paint that I've done on the background. So fairly random, just smoothing that on, and down at the bottom left as well. So again, it's fairly random where I've done it, and I'll leave that one to dry. So we're ready to go again. Everything's nice and dry, and I'm ready to add all my bits and pieces to the page. So starting off just with the backing for my photo. So I've just got some of the pattern papers, cut them down to size, and I'm going to staple them into place so they don't move. I'm quite happy with how they are now. And I'm going to use not double-sided tape, foam tape behind my photo. That'll just add some dimension to the page. Always fiddly getting those strips off the back. Okay, so my photo will go on with a little paper clip in that top right corner. I thought I'd pop that on before I stick it down. Okay, so that's looking good. Now that tag, the stripy tag, is out of the die cut pack. So I want to just tuck that in down that bottom right of the photo. I'm going to add some twine to the top of that and tie a little bow. And then that one can go into place. So just tucking it in between the papers underneath the photo. So I'm happy with that. I'm going to stick it down. So a bit of double-sided tape on the back of that one. And I think I used tape runner on the back of the tag. I don't know, I've got no rhyme or reason to what adhesives I use. I just grab whatever's closest to me at the time. So I usually have a few things on my desk ready to use. Okay, so I've got these little floral die cuts now. They're also from the die cut pack in the Willow Kit. So this first one I've stuck that down completely, but the second one I want to pop that up with a little 3D dot, just to add some more dimension to that area. There we go. Now for my title, I wanted to use that adventure die cut, and instead of putting it the usual way, I thought I'd put that one sideways next to the photo with that scallop die cut. And there's that little heart, it's like a little speech bubble, so that's going to go on the top right of the photo. So I'm sticking those down now. So a bit of double-sided tape behind that one. and I'm using a tape runner behind my word there as well. So that one gets stuck into place. Now for the fun part, I love stamping on my pages, as you know. So the Willow stamp set had so many phrases that suit this page perfectly. So I've got about 8 stamps all up. I'm going to scatter them above the photo and below. I'm starting off with this one that says fresh air. So I made sure it had lots of ink on it because there's that solid black behind the first word of it. And when you do stamp it onto the textured cardstock, it leaves a lovely texture on that black area. So that next stamp on there just says wind in my hair, and now I'm adding hello sunshine above that. So moving on to below the photo now, this stamp says the start of something amazing. And the next one, so much happy. Just stamping that one there. Then I also had this, it's like a die cut piece. It says a happy day. So it just helps to create that visual triangle with the scallop strip and the stripy tag, because they're the same. They've got that same blue in all 3. So lovely visual triangle there. I'm just putting that on with a bit of foam tape behind it, again for a little more dimension. And I'll continue with some stamping underneath that now. So I'm using the double-ended arrow, just offsetting that under the die cut there. And underneath that is wonders await. So again, using lots of ink on that stamp with that solid area. You'll see in the close-up photos the texture it gives when you're stamping onto this textured cardstock. So I thought it needed another stamp at the top. So I went back to the stamp set and found the phrase living and loving, which also suits this page. So that's going up there, and you'll see towards the end of the video I also add the date above that. So time to add my journaling now. So I've printed out my strips using my computer and my favourite travelling typewriter font, and I'm just using my tape runner behind those, and I'm adding those to the left of my title, and all of the right hand sides of those strips are lined up underneath each other. So just adding those on there. That last one. And now I'm going to do a little bit of stitching on the page. Not too much, just a little bit. I'm going to stitch along those journaling strips, and then I'll also add some around that photo area as well. Okay, so you can see there just at the top left and the bottom right of the photo as well. So stitching is now done. And to finish off, I'm just going to staple the end of that twine into place and trim it off, and then I'll add my date to the top right corner. I hope you've enjoyed seeing how this page has come together today. If you've got any questions, please pop it down below. I'll also put a link to the Felicity Jane store if you're interested in this particular kit. And I'll be back again very soon with more to share. I'll leave you with some close-up photos. Thanks for dropping by, and bye for now.